Hey, so I'm very aware that right now we're struggling with a signal versus noise problem, that everyone is scrambling to get information out there for people and to, everyone's a thought leader and everyone knows everything about diseases. And, but I'm hoping that I can buy just 1 minute of your attention to listen to what I think we have to be embracing. You see, the world is at war, right? We've kind of gone into a war state. This is a war with this virus and with the chaos, and we're all reacting as if we're at war. And I think that's kind of what's happening. And the first reaction is, holy shit, we're at war, and everyone's battening down the hatches, and we're all at home, and we're working in different ways. But I think leaders have a very specific role to play in this. And I think it's to change the narrative. And the narrative is to get back to business as unusual as soon as possible. Right? We need to stop getting up every morning and talking and stressing about corona, right? It's happened. We can all monitor it. Everybody has a dashboard. Nobody needs, to have like an email from your homeowners association telling you to wash your hands. Like, we're all aware of that. And for sure, there's communication to be done. But actually, the job of leaders is to get people back on track as soon as possible. Even if they're staying at home, it's just got to feel like business as usual. I'm reminded of the Second World War. So the war starts off and the soldiers go off to war and they're fighting. And then, the elderly and at the time the women were staying back home. And they were sitting there. There was panics and nobody knew what was going on. Until people decided, you know what, screw this. Like, we actually can't stop living. And they went back about their business. It changed. The women went to factories. They built it up. And, people carried on. People solved problems. And they started living in this world. Now, I don't know how long this thing is going to stay, but it's going to stay longer than most of us can economically cope with. So we have to get back to business as unusual as soon as possible. We've got to decide that this is the world we live in now. We're living in a world of war. And instead of hiding in bunkers, we've got to turn around and say, okay, we're in the bunkers, but we can still work and we can still trade. And so the message I just want to give to you is, as a leader, your job now is to try and get to making this feel normal as soon as possible. This is the new normal. This is business as unusual. And I think we need to get our people on board with this idea as soon as possible. So we're not saying do away with the narrative of coronavirus. I know it's there and I know you have to monitor it, but it can't be our language. We've had a couple of days of the chaos. The weeks leading up to this thing, the weekend, specifically from a South African point of view, was where everything became a big deal. Monday, we all start working from home. Tuesday, we're sitting there, now we're kind of getting ready by this. I think we've got Friday and this party's over. By next week, Monday, it's business as unusual. Get that in your head and get it in your people's head. Cool. Stay curious. Peace.